Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining. Use the chat if you want to communicate with me. I'm glad that you are here. We're going to spend an hour together, talk about energy, talk about especially Reiki. Who is familiar with Reiki? I'm curious. You can actually enter in the chat if you have heard of Reiki before. Maybe you even been attuned to Reiki before, attended like a workshop. Yeah, Kiki, I done it twice. That's awesome. I also did that myself. I learned from different teachers, and every teacher has golden nuggets. I really advise, if you already know Reiki, to also learn with different people. Yes, Valerie. Like it's something that is actually happening a lot, that I all the time meeting people that have been attuned in the past to Reiki, but unfortunately they don't practice it, they don't have integrate it in their life. And it's make me so sad each time because everybody love like a workshop about it, right? But after, like, it's really experiential energy. Like it's not enough to know energy is all around us to benefit from it, right? You have to practice and curate, especially your energy if you are a highly sensitive person that live in this tough, crazy world, especially right now. So Reiki, I will give a little bit of like background on its origin and how it came to be. There is many different modality in energy healing, and Reiki is one of, I would say, like the one that people know the most. So even if people know nothing about energies, very often they have heard about Reiki. They don't really know what it is, right? Like it's a can be a little bit like confused by the spiritual aspect of the modality, but they have heard the word Reiki. And you can definitely receive session from Reiki people. And something that I really encourage for you to experience if you're interested is to learn Reiki for self-healing. Because what I realized over the years, like it's fantastic to be supported by practitioner. There is so many amazing modality nowadays that you can get. And if you are curious, there is always something more to learn. But something that I want to preach today is that knowing it and be able to do it for yourself, being able to do it for the people that you love, it's really something. And instead of every, let's say, 3 to 6 months being like, okay, I don't feel too good, maybe I need an energy session to realign myself, you can actually practice on the regular and prevent all those like ups and downs that happen in life or life happen. So you can make those bumps a little bit smoother than if you don't practice Reiki and that you don't have any access to those modalities that regulate the nervous system. So let me go back. Few people shared. And so you have a whole protocol like Reiki. You know what I really enjoy with this modality, and I learned a few, is that Reiki is very simple. Reiki can be learned by adults, but also children. It's a very intuitive way to use energy. And I really want to say that like children are innately attuned to energy. I really believe that actually energy is our first language, and that over the development of a human being, we shut down typically our intuition, our sensitivity to energy. And at least, even for people that are highly sensitive, they don't really understand energy and can be really overwhelmed by it. Because feeling the world around us is not always easy, right? And as a sensitive being, we feel a little bit like a sponge, and we're absorbing like the vibe that we have around us. And what I want to tell you is that this is not bad. What I talk with sensitive, most likely they're telling me, oh my gosh, I'm so sensitive. I don't really know what to do with it. It's very uncomfortable. And I would like not to be as sensitive as that because the world is tough. And so I need to grow this tough skin to be able to handle the world. And through my 10 years plus of Reiki, what I realize is that ultimately we're all sensitives. We are all sensitive. We all have that in us. We have people that are a bit more connected to themselves than other. We live in a world that is full of disconnection, that preach action and not really introspection. And so we have the tendency to, when it gets intense, to numb, to disconnect, to push down, to repress. And all those feelings that it doesn't always feel good, right? But all those feelings are actual information that come to you to be processed and integrated. So I can see we have a few more people joining. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to be here. I see I have a few Reiki students that enjoyed the Reiki retreat last year. Hello, Nicola. That's nice to see you here. Also have Yvonne. Thank you for being here. She's been learning Reiki with me several times. She's an amazing breathwork practitioner. So thank you guys for showing up. And I will ask you a few questions on your experience with Reiki a little bit later in these hours. So let me look at the chat again. Yes, absolutely, Valerie, you're totally right. Like all those energetic modality merge very well together and also combine greatly with allopathic standard medicine. There is like this narrative out there that it's a little bit like a war between the wisdom of the East and the more like modern medicine that we have in the West nowadays in our modern world. But I really want to tell you that all of that goes together very well. And over the years, I've been having people coming from nursing background, counselor, different type of doctor that have been interested to tap into Reiki for themselves, for others, for their family and loved one, and also trying to find a way to integrate it in their regular practice. So now that we're all here, I just would like to take a little moment for us to come and to ground. I will talk a little bit more about it after this mini practice. It's just to get yourself present for this session. We have the tendency to run through our day like crazy and doing all the things that we have to do, all the tasks, all the things, multitasking all day, and not really nurture the state of presence. And the state of presence is something that we really cultivate when we work with energy, because presence, thoughts, all of that activate the energy, and energy follows thoughts. So that is something that once you are aware of it, you can actually use it to feel better through the day. So let's do a few minutes of grounding practice. You can stay wherever you are, seated. You can lay down if you want, like it doesn't really matter. What's matter is that you are comfortable wherever you are. You can keep your camera, you can turn off your camera, it's totally fine. And just take a moment to make yourself comfortable, to sit upright, to put your feet flat on the ground, and maybe to bounce your heels a few times just to make yourself aware of your body. And as you are coming to your body right now, just having a few breaths. And with breath, you are carrying energy. You are starting to nurture the flow of energy inside of you. You can imagine that each time you are exhaling, you are landing deeper and deeper in your body, occupying every space in your being, every cell, every layer, every organ, welcoming your energy, your consciousness. And when you inhale, you are welcoming the energy, the prana that is all around you. And just taking this time right now. Allow those few minutes of stillness, of quietness, to observe yourself and how does it feel. Welcoming the beautiful prana that you have all around you at each inhale, and landing deeper in the body as you exhale, as deep as you are comfortable, taking anchor in your own body. And just allowing the own rhythm of your breath to carry the flow of energy that you already have inside of you. And exhaling and landing deeper into the body, opening to sensation. And as you inhale, welcoming more energy, expanding this beautiful aura that we have all around our physical body. Beautiful. And as you are just going through this very simple process of presence, gently grounding yourself at each cycle of breath, you're getting more aware. The flow of energy is circulating better, smoother. And at each cycle of your breath, you are actually letting your body do what the body knows how to do. We're getting from the head into the body, into the heart, into the belly, and grounding deep into those legs, connecting with Mother Earth. And it's very simple. It doesn't have to take hours to slow yourself down and allow yourself to regulate. And gentle in and out of the breath. I'm going to ask you to be curious with what's going on with your beautiful physical body, but also beyond the physical. Connecting to something a little bit more subtle that is your energy. And we have this tendency to separate the mind from the body, to separate the body from spirit. And all of that is actually deeply intertwined, is deeply interconnected. And as you connect with your body, you also connect with your spirit. And you just allow yourself to observe, to sense, to feel. Some people, quite sensitive, can feel the flow of energy and what we call in Reiki the hibiki. All those subtle sensations that come through the body when we connect to energy. Can be little tingles, different sensation, maybe temperature. Some people can feel some heat as the energy is circulating, or maybe a breeze, maybe like a certain consistency of the energy that you have inside of you. And all those sensations are information coming your way for being processed and understand the world you live in. And you can even go deeper. And as I say deeper, I want to say more expanded. Let's go bigger. Let's imagine that our mind is observing ourselves as we are sitting here, breathing together. And we have sensation, physical sensation in the body, maybe even emotional sensation. And from there, you can imagine, just with your imagination and intention, that you bring yourself to the edge of your body, that your consciousness is now under your skin. It's occupying all your body and it's growing beyond it. Imagining accessing this beautiful aura that you have around you, this beautiful energetic egg. And as you are just simply with your intention and your imagination, expanding into your aura, occupying fully your aura, you're getting stronger. We are vibrational beings in a physical body. We are vibrating like a musical instrument. And we have the whole music in us. We can go very low in those universal feeling of maybe despair, guilt, and shame. We can all connect to those. But we can also shift and raise our vibration and imagining ourselves through this expansion, shifting gear, shifting your radio channel to what you vibrate with, and maybe attuning to feeling of joy, feeling of harmony, feeling of happiness, maybe even excitement, bliss. And just notice how it feels and how your body knows exactly what it is. It can go there on its own. And through that, you can actually curate a very strong energetical being that keep you centered in this modern world that can feel a bit scattered and disconnected. It can be, you can have a nice cleansing breath, having the biggest inhale of your day, expanding as you are comfortable, maybe even holding it for a few seconds before you exhale. Maybe let's do a few of those. Inhaling a nice, big, expansive breath in, holding it at the top just for a few seconds, and then let it go. And you can let it go through the mouth. Is it feel good? Allowing yourself maybe to have a sound, a sigh. And another one when you are ready in your own rhythm, getting the biggest breath of the day into your body, fueling every cell, expanding, clearing anything that you don't need anymore. And when you are ready, you can surrender and let it go. And one last time, inhaling, maybe having an extra inhale, double inhale, just to make sure you're like nice and full and expanded. Holding it for a few seconds and very slowly through the mouth, you can let it out. And as you let it out, you can make yourself back to this call, back to your space. Maybe bringing a few motion there, following your body, whatever feels good. Maybe a nice stretch, maybe holding yourself for a while. Putting your hands everywhere, like right now I'm connecting to my heart, but if you want to connect to your womb, it's totally fine. Follow your own innate wisdom. And bring yourself back. And so that was like a quick grounding practice just to raise our awareness to this energetic being that we are also on the top of the physical. And the way I see it, it's like the physical is denser somehow and creates solid form, but the energy is actually like the same substance that we are made, just like different densities. But there is like a big part of ourselves that we don't see, that is very powerful, and that can help us to stay aligned and centered into our life. So take your own time to gently come back. You might need a little bit more time. It's totally okay. And I would like you to maybe share a word in the chat on how you are feeling right now compared to the before this grounding practice and now. What's coming to you? Any sensation, any sense that you were maybe a little bit more activated? Yeah, Valerie feels more relaxed. Catherine is feeling peaceful, centered. Okay, yeah. Have you noticed how you are somehow a little bit like there is this very activated place that we have through our days, but like through practice like that of mindfulness, everything slow down, right? So like for sure we relax, we might even feel sleepy. We might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm ready for bed. Kiki is feeling sleepy. Valerie, deeper breathing, right? Everything is connected together. The breath is a beautiful tool to observe where you're at. If you're starting to pant, obviously there is something. If you have a nice deep breath, you're obviously regulated, right? Like at peace in your body. Barb is talking about like a vibration, more contained, more balance. Absolutely, we can feel a bit like frantic into the craziness of the day. And like all of that are actually very easy tool that we can use at any point. And you could do that in the bus if you needed that people will have no clue what you're doing. So you can take that with you and practice it on the regular. It's very simple, and I like to also teach it to children because children need a little bit of figure out how to regulate themselves. So all of that, just having this little time together, you can see that the access to awareness to all those like subtle sensations that happen through the body. And you have people that are very kinesthetic and can feel quite a bit in their body. Also, even emotionally, when they're around people, they can feel a lot. And you have people that manage the information a different way. Sometimes people are very clairvoyant and they have messages coming visually. Some other people are clairaudient and it's come on the auditive side. But there is many different ways that energetic information can reach you. I would like to connect with a few alumni that took the time to show up today. So thank you so much, guys. I would love to maybe, Yvonne, if you don't mind starting and unmute yourself. We have connected together with our love for the sound and energy and many different things. And I would love you to take a few minutes to share briefly about what called you to Reiki and what this practice ultimately did to you over the years, because it's been, what, maybe 4 years now?
17, 18, 19, 20. Oh no, it's been way more than 4 years.
Okay, okay.
It's been, I think to like 2017,
Okay.
like 2018 we started all of this energy work, the sound and Reiki. And of course, when we were in the sound, I had that tremendous energy surge, and that all of it just came very quickly at the same time within a few years. But I really find the Reiki is so soothing to a lot of people. I currently have somebody right now who's going through a lot with her health, and she only likes Reiki. So she just loves it. So I'm happy I can give that to her because it helps to regulate her nervous system. So I don't know, it's just a great tool. I use it constantly in everything, not just in my practice, but just becomes a flow with your life.
What did you notice for yourself? What has it done for you?
I'm just more calm. Yeah. Just more calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel you are more connected somehow to, how can I say that, your higher self, like this inner guidance that we have inside of us?
You know what it is? I've always been connected since I was a little girl. It just made me understand a little bit more how it is, how it works. It's hard to put it into words. You feel this feeling your whole life, but then when you understand how it all works, and then when you understand Reiki and the energy of it, it just makes sense about how you were feeling when you were younger. It just made more sense to me once I learned that.
Yeah, it's a whole aspect of ourselves that nobody really talk about.
No
Right?
one.
This energetic aspect.
You had to figure it out yourself, and it just, yeah.
And we
So
feel
just,
so much, but we don't know, we don't understand it. So we can even feel, I have talked with many people that are scared or even of the energy. They're scared about their intuition, about those messages that are coming to them out of the blue. And there is like a sense of they don't control anything. And that's very overwhelming. What I've noticed is that through this practice of Reiki, which is really like a heart practice, there is something there that, like, everything is realigned. And so, this inner voice that is so important and that is like holding so much of our wisdom that somehow we haven't learned to listen. With Reiki, like, you can get really in touch with your intuition. If you don't mind unmuting yourself and commenting on your intuition. And I think you have some clairvoyance that you developed over the years, right? Like different color and shapes and all of that.
yeah, it's mostly been color. Yeah. But it's just different form of energy. And so I just accepted it. But I guess the more you learn about different modalities, the more it connects the dots to what's going on. There's so much going on, so much more.
Yes, absolutely. As I say, life can be crazy, right? And yeah, it's the great time to just tell you about the Reiki retreat that's going to happen next month. We're going to do that at Hollyhock, which is a lovely Reiki center that is on Cortez Island. It's happening from June 22nd to 27. And it's really like a beautiful way to extract yourself to the crazy life and settle down and learn all like this energy on those sacred grounds and surrounded by people, that are actually connected to energy and like light-minded people. It's always like amazing. And so today we have Nicola also that in Nicola, I think you participate to last year retreat, I believe. Would you mind unmuting yourself and just share a little bit of your Hollyhock experience?
Hello. Hi. Yeah, I was just going to say that the retreat was just amazing. I was at a very stressful point in my life. I was off work. And just when I saw your program come up, it just spoke to me. I was just like, I have to do this. I have to do this. And I was really about 3 days away. I made it happen. And yeah, the location is beautiful. Like you said, it feels like sacred ground, being nourished with beautiful food all the time and beautiful surroundings and accommodation. And then just the women, it was all women that came together, just beautiful souls, really. And just the learning was really amazing. It was my first time. I had no Reiki experience whatsoever. And yeah, it was lots of learning. There were women from a variety of different relationships to energy, some with more experience than others. And yeah, it was very lovely. It was an emotional journey too. I was able to release a lot of pent up stuff that I was carrying. And for me, I just physically and emotionally transformed from the first of the days to the last of the day. I just shed all this negative, heavy energy and just ended up being super light. And it was just beautiful. It really was. And your teaching was amazing. It was just perfect. And it brought us all together. It was really cool. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, thank you, Nicola. What would you say? Because, like you said that you were like in a challenging period of your life, right? But what's your own practice of Reiki? You could say, like, if you could analyze a little bit the before and after and what it has brought in your life.
I would say that I was living a lot outside myself in I just feel like the chaos of day to day. And so very ungrounded, I would say, at all. And yeah, just being pushed around by energies. And it really helped me to, yeah, come into myself, to ground, to find that that real sort of sense of peace and just so much more awareness of myself and the energies that are inherent with us. Like it was like an opening up to that for sure. I will say I have strayed a little bit from it, and I've been really actually wanting to go back and reattune myself from the program that we have, because I'm really missing that too, and that daily practice. And I just doing that with you at the beginning of the session was just wonderful. It was so quick, but it just brought me right into that place of peace and connection. And yeah, learning the Reiki and doing it yeah, it was really neat to see how much I could feel. Yeah.
And I love the attunement as well. So
Mm.
that's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
So there is this particular part in Reiki, different a little bit. There is so many energy modalities, but no modality do what we call the attunement, which is this kind of like ceremonial time before we share any Reiki teaching, any knowledge, to actually connect students to the Reiki energy first off. And it's what I really like because, as I said at the beginning, all of that is experiential, right? Many people know about Reiki, but knowing about Reiki is not enough to feel good, right? It's imagine like wanted to be healthy, but like buying like the monthly gym membership and expecting to have amazing body from just the membership and you just don't go there. That's a little bit what it is. And so all this practice is a muscle that you flex, like literally, right? And Nicola, you did the advanced program. I have this more advanced program where like we take 4 months, which is totally like different aspect of Reiki. But if I do that, it's for the practice because people need to practice. They need to be entrained and being accountable with each other. And that's where the shifts start to happen for sure.
I will say that, and this was something that really struck me too, was because I had been off work on a medical leave. And then when I came back to work, and since then, my whole energetic being at work is so different now. Like I was always late and harried and stressed and scattered all over the place. And now I'm early every day and I'm just really calm. And my colleagues commented on that. They said, they're like, oh, wow, I don't know if they even use the word Zen. They're like, oh, you're just calm and Zen around here. And I was just like, oh, because I didn't realize that's how I was coming across. And so it made a big difference in many parts of my life.
That's really what I love with Reiki. It's like a medicine of the heart. And it's work in so many different ways. There is people that have for sure cathartic experience and a little bit more, how can I say that? It's less in the subtle, but there is a lot that happen in the underground of our being, and it's subtle and it's very gentle. It's the Reiki is not pushing, pulling, try to get us into our sometimes what perfection. We have this idea of we have to get like all our shit together, and actually Reiki work in subtle ways. And yes, you would somehow change some part of the subconscious, right? Because all of that is like those part of subconscious that create our reality. And for example, like being late and create like those stressful elements in life that you can say, oh my gosh, we don't need that. We don't need that anymore.
No.
We just drop it.
Yeah.
All like anxiety of stuff. Okay, we're done with those stories.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that it's very personal, right? I'm sure like Yvonne would have something else to say about it, about like her own experience, right? Like it's very personal. And if you have any question, please feel free to drop like any question in the chat. For the last 10 minutes that we have together, I can answer like any question you might have on Reiki. But I just remember right now that we had like a person that didn't know too much about it. And so Reiki is an energy modality that comes from Japan, but that's been like really taking over. It's very popular in the States, like it's all over the world, but it was initiated in Japan from Mikao Usui. That's been this spiritual person looking for healing tools, and he spent his whole life looking for illumination, coming from like Zen Buddhism tradition, doing like a lot of meditation, reading old scroll in Zen Buddhism temple, and trying to find this destination spiritually that some of us are looking for. And through that, he had this amazing experience on a mountain during a 3-week fast where he was just only meditating. And through this big experience for him, like it completely shifted and started to channel energy through his hands. And so all of that, like I want to tell you guys, is Reiki is one way to see energy. If you're interested to it, you will see that it's very connected to Buddhism principle. It's very gentle. It's all about our interconnectedness somehow to each other. And all of that is just being like rediscovered. And it was in the 1920s. And energy always been there. We always had people attuned to energy, capable to feel the energy. There is shaman all over the world that use energy in different state of consciousness to reach different spiritual realm. Like all of that is being with us since the beginning, I want to say. I was not there, but that's really what I believe. And when you think about it, like being a sensitive and highly attuned to energy in your environment, it's what helps you to survive. And so, most likely, when you think about a Stone Age time, that most likely was like quite like a difficult, like tough time, people needed to be highly attuned to their environment, to their tribe, to the people around them, making sure they are safe and were able to survive. And that's why we're here today, pretty much. Yeah, like I maybe even if you want to give like another word about your Reiki practice and if you have anything to share about it.
As you can see, I'm not much of a talker about it, but no, I can see it when I'm in it, when I'm actually in a session. I have the weirdest thing with my hand. I can feel it. It's the only thing I can imagine is I can tell you is it's like a corkscrew and it has a noise. It has a sound. And so when I'm running my hand over somebody's body, I can feel where it's blocked. And then this corkscrew thing starts to make a noise in my head. It's not an audible noise for anybody else. And it's a feeling as well. So it was pretty interesting when I found that from doing that study. And yeah.
It's really fascinating because like you hear a noise, some people even have taste in their mouths. And as they're building their understanding of like how they are processing energy because we're all a bit unique. You have the noise, like this, you can see that like it's vortexing in your hand somehow.
Yeah, that's what it's like. It's like a vortex. Yeah.
So like it's very personal, like to you, and you have learned that to pay attention to that and to pay attention to like this sound that maybe at the beginning you didn't pay attention to. And so all of that is bringing it's so many ways you can interconnect with energy beyond what we would think like the regular physical. Yeah.
It's different from meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just different. I can't explain it. But yeah, that was like you hear so many people and their stories of how they get guides and people. I never get that. I get the corkscrews. That's my thing. Anyway, that's about it, really. It's like that's my thing what I experience. I can feel those things. I guess that's the circle, the vortex getting activated when you come over an energy that needs to be cleared.
Mm-hmm. And after write your hand tell you like it's I'm always curious when people are learning because like how does it gonna show up?
I think you can't be attached to how it shows up for other people because it's going to be different for you. It's not going to be the same for anybody.
Totally. Yeah.
I have a question and something to share actually.
Yes.
So I think it was me who showed you or texted you in the registration that I don't know much about it. It's almost a bit shocking because I've done a lot of things and I feel a lot of things. I work as a death doula. And so it's actually also something that I really use. And of course, in the very beginning, there was a ton of issues with grounding and coming back. And for some reason, it's never occurred to me to utilize Reiki or go to a session just as a client. But I've had a few people in my life who said, wait a second, you just did this or felt this and you've never heard of Reiki. I have heard of it, but I don't know why it didn't come to me. Because I told someone that when I was a little girl and I would play the matching game with my siblings, I don't know how I figured that out. Must have been coincidence, probably. I would go over the parts that were covered to find the match and feel that the hottest one was the right one. And I would do that. And then they said to me, if you do that, you can't play with us because it was unfair because they didn't use it. So I stopped that stuff. And then it was a fair game. It was a bit boring.
But all children have that, right?
Yeah, and I
We're
was little. I was
deeply
maybe
attuned.
5 or so.
We lose it
Yeah.
along the way, but we're
Yeah.
deeply attuned.
I understood that it is unfair. It didn't occur to me to say, then you do it too. That would have been the fun game.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, probably because I'm trying to figure out why it hasn't happened to me to at least just take a session. Who comes to you? Do they already know all about Reiki, or when do people say, I need a Reiki session? You know what I mean?
If you don't know about it, there is no chance you're gonna
No.
be like, I need a Reiki session.
But we all know about
But like,
energy.
once you know a little bit more about your energy and feeling, and you can be like, I feel I'm scattered. It's depend about like the sensation that you have, but people most likely would say, I'm scattered, I'm overwhelmed, I'm ungrounded. If they have awareness of grounding, they're like, I'm not really here. I'm doing everything automatically. People that would maybe feel a little bit depressed and be like, gosh, like I'm not myself those days. You have people that come for physical ailments, pain management, but it can be also emotional, or it can be life changement. Like when your life change and you feel like, I'm like, oh, I'm lost.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of people are like, I would like to have clarity. I think energy would help me to find a way, like where I need to go in my life.
Yeah.
So there is many different ways. Is there, what is it, to be a secret Reiki agent? Yes, like she was. It's a question more of awareness. The more you're aware of it, the more you can control it and guide all those processes. So that's what matters. Yeah. Is there like any other question before we part away? I will send you all the detail, guys, by email. You will have everything if you are interested for next month's Reiki retreat or at another time. Thank you so much for taking the time, guys. You take care. Bye-bye.